What's the funniest game that turns serious fast? Every Thanksgiving, my family plays a game called One Truth You'd Never Admit. The rules are simple. Everyone writes down one secret about themselves on a slip of paper. No names. The papers go into a bowl. Then we take turns reading them and guessing who wrote what. It started years ago with harmless confessions. I hate Grandma's sweet potato casserole. I once called in sick to avoid Aunt Lisa's wedding. I accidentally broke Dad's grill and blamed the dog. It was always hilarious. Then last year, my cousin suggested a new rule. No fake secrets, no jokes, real ones only. Everyone agreed. Worst decision we've ever made. There were 12 of us sitting around the table. My grandmother drew the first slip. She smiled and frowned, then read it anyway. I secretly dropped out of college 6 months ago. Every head turned toward my cousin Megan. She burst into tears immediately. Apparently, she'd been pretending to attend classes while working at a coffee shop. Her parents looked like they'd been hit by a truck. The next SL, I've been seeing someone for almost a year, and nobody in this family knows they exist. My aunt slowly raised her hand. At age 52, she'd apparently been secretly dating her high school boyfriend again. Grandma screamed, "Frank is alive!" Apparently, that breakup had been family lore for 30 years. Everyone started laughing. For a minute, things felt normal again. Then, Grandpa picked the next paper. I know who stole the missing inheritance money. The room froze. 5 years earlier, several $1,000s had disappeared from my late great-aunt's estate. The entire family had fought about it. People stopped speaking to each other. No one ever found out who did it. Grandpa looked around the table. Well, that's an unpleasant secret. Nobody laughed. The next paper was somehow worse. I have a child none of you know about. My uncle dropped his fork. Then very quietly, he said, "That's mine." Silence. Absolute silence. Turns out he had a 20-year-old daughter from a relationship before he met my aunt. Nobody knew. Not even his wife. My aunt looked like she forgot how breathing worked. Then she asked, "20 years?" He nodded. I only found out about her last spring. Suddenly, everyone was talking at once. Then my grandmother held up her hand. "No, we finished the game. I wish she hadn't." The next paper read, "I've been lying about my health." My mother slowly lowered her wine glass. I felt my stomach twist. She looked at me, then at my brother. Then she started crying. She'd been diagnosed with breast cancer 3 months earlier and hadn't told anyone because she didn't want to ruin the holidays. I couldn't even speak. I just reached across the table and grabbed her hand. Half the family was crying. Then Grandma picked up the final slip. She read it once, then again, then a third time. She looked genuinely confused. Finally, she read it out loud. "I know who took the inheritance money because I was the one who took it. You could have heard a spoon drop. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed." Then incredibly, Grandpa raised his hand. Everyone turned toward him. He sighed. "Technically, that's mine. I thought my aunt was going to pass out." "You stole from your own sister?" Grandpa rubbed his face. "No." Then he looked at Grandma. "Can I explain now?" Apparently, 20 years earlier, my great aunt had given him that money in secret. She knew she was dying. She wanted him to use it to pay off Grandma's medical debt, but she never told anyone else. After she passed away, everyone assumed the money had been stolen. Grandpa kept quiet because he didn't want the family fighting over it, which ironically caused the family to fight over it for 5 years. Grandma smacked him with a dinner napkin. "You absolute idiot." The entire table started laughing and crying at the same time. Then my mom looked around the room. "You know, this game's terrible." Everyone agreed. We officially banned it forever, or at least we tried. Because this Thanksgiving, my little niece walked into the dining room carrying a bowl and a stack of paper. She smiled and said, "Mom says we're not allowed to play secret truths anymore." Then she held up a fresh stack of slips. So I renamed it. And that's how our family accidentally started Truth or Turkey. We don't play board games anymore.